Suds N Buds, episode 4, Space Goat.
Pale
with me, Derek, and our guest, Seth.
This is going to start, really from space, right?
Goats are from space, that's a fact. Alright, so we're drinking
that Big Sky Brewing
Space
Company.
Goat. It's pretty mellow
Pretty good.
compared to the last stuff we had. Fruity.
Tastes a lot better. It's a lot more fruity, that's for sure.
We also have cap names, or cap phrases. Bank Beaver.
Oh shit, I didn't even look at mine.
This guy's got the snack accoutrement going.
What's in the jockey box? What's in the jockey box?
So we had a pretty long conversation.
Drugs.
Really long conversation before this podcast. So we might have to circle back around on some stuff.
I've got my metallic fish crackers to go around.
Hey, you got your snack, bro.
Along with my Space Goat IPA. No, it's just pale ale.
We got that.
Yeah, no, it's not from India, so it's just a MPA because it's
PA.
Montana Pale Ale.
Hell yeah.
Not
Kinda
bad.
local, only like a state away.
Yeah, actually pretty close to here. Well, not super close, but
Missouri, yeah, 5,
a
6
day,
hours.
less than a day's drive. That's for fucking sure. So way less. So
Just hop squat in a few hours drive.
Right, good road trip.
all right. So we got Seth. He's does some local music around here at a couple places. The
So where do
brewery.
you play at mostly?
I usually play at the Riverport Brewery because they do a band jam there once a month. And kind of the closest thing we got these days to like an old school blues club. And that's because that's where all the old musicians that were in bands from like the 60s and 70s would go. Well, it would go as if it's not currently
Right,
going.
that shit's coming back. That shit came back for sure.
But
Oldies is coming back.
it's like all my big inspirations are bands from like the 60s and 70s, like Sabbath, Zeppelin, Cream, fucking like what the beginnings of what modern metal and rock and roll is. Like they're my big inspirations. And I was like, wow, well, how did they fucking learn guitar? And all of them was like, well,
Right.
like watching all.
They
old
didn't have people
documentary-
to watch like we did, really. Though.
I mean,
Well,
they
it
did,
wasn't
but it
as
was also
accessible.
Yeah,
It
it wasn't
thing.
crazy
Yeah.
to way.
Classic.
It's like the reason a cover band from the 80s was cooler than a cover band now is because a cover band from the 80s didn't have the internet to look up a tab on how to
Right.
play every song.
Yeah.
It was like you listened to a band until you figured it out. Or maybe your friend had a hold of a guitar magazine and every once in a while there'd be a cool
chords and stuff.
sheet music in the
That or you
in
had
the
like,
back
or even
page.
had access to like watch the music videos back then and like tape MTV
Right, yeah.
like on a VCR and then go back and just watch the guitar player.
I mean, like,
play.
Even before that,
yeah.
dude, like way back.
Well, yeah, even
Yeah.
then.
And shit.
It was go see them live or like I said, have a good
Figure it
goddamn
out.
ear.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like figure it out. Like,
But
even
the
my
whole
cousin, dude. was
But the
same
whole
way.
thing is just, if you want to make a cool, heavy rock and roll sound, you gotta have roots to it, you know? And that's where I started watching these old blues players, and that's why I fell in love with blues, was like, most of blues is based off of Delta blues, which is just the... Just those three main notes of doing that jump. So most blues songs are following basically the same thing. But what makes it special is who's playing it and what they're playing.
Yeah.
Legs, yeah. 100%.
Because like Chet Atkins or Howlin' Wolf, either one of them, they'll do this whole like the Howlin' Wolf riff for Smokestack Lightning.
I love
Like
that.
I can play the riff, but like it doesn't. Like no matter how hard I make it sound like Howlin' Wolf, it's not Howlin' Wolf playing it.
Oh yeah, it's old.
And granted, that one doesn't do the Delta is a weird example for Delta blues, but the point is like it comes down that sort of player's feel, as it's really specific. And then, so if you base your sound off of having to have a really of that sort of natural individual tone, then you get some originality out of what you're trying to do later on. Because it's like, I learned the same blues as anybody else did, but I play it different, and the same as they play it different than me.
Yeah.
Well, it's your
Everybody's
style.
got their own technique and style and shit. And the way they timing. Timing is all it is, really.
And then you just go
The way
wild
you-
after that is the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, and like learning other riffs from other people. It's like, oh, that's cool they come up with that.
Yeah.
It's also kind of cool, like, when you see, like, why who the fuck came up with that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
For me, it's like certain chords, certain stretches, like bar chords where you got to put a bar up before you do a chord.
oh, yeah, that's
Possible
fucking
for me, dude.
hand cramping.
Like you said, finger strength. Like
Yeah, no, it's a lot of people, like I said,
You
they
didn't-
try getting into guitar, and then it's like, oh, I can't do it. And it's like, well, you didn't, like, you gotta, like,
you got to give it.
Yeah.
you gotta give your
lot,
hands
bro.
some time to fucking
It's like
beef
working
up.
out. You can't just do it for a month and expect
Yeah.
results.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
you got to
never
do it
wanna
for
let
years
yourself-
to get results.
It sounds cheesy because there's a lot of different, like, different training things that say it, but like the never say you can't thing,
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, it really does help because nothing's unattainable. It's just really fucking hard,
Yeah.
Well, there's people that have
So,
knacks
you
for
gotta be
shit
able
as
to
well.
be
Like, some people are going to be quick
competitive. You
learners
gotta be able to
compared to
play the
others,
same
but
shit.
also it's like, whoever puts in the time
Yeah.
can get to where they want to be.
Yeah.
Like that same Howlin' Wolf riff that I was playing, I can play the riff and sound proficient. I can do the voice. I can't fucking say words. I can do the vocals just fine. But trying to do them both at the same time,
No, dude, I can't sing and
it's
play guitar
fucking
at all.
hard, dude.
My hand wants to go with my voice.
I know that if I just tried 100 times that I could do it, but it's like, I still gotta put those 100 times in, and then I'll do it. You know what I mean? That's
Well,
what
yeah.
I mean. It's like I can't do it right now.
Well, they even say,
but
like,
I know
million
if I
times
put
of
enough time
practice.
into it, I could do it.
What does that one say?
That was the wrong one. I picked up the wrong one.
You picked up my old one.
It's an inch can go into 100 miles. Shit. It's not. Yeah, it's not that one.
That one wasn't that cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some Montana
Wait.
scenes.
What is it?
That's not even the right one.
Montana saying.
How do hands work? This is this one.
They're only
There's
funny
one-
if you live there, right?
Oh, this is Bank Beaver again.
Yeah, I'll say
These are weird porn titles.
Bank Beaver. You're just like walking to a bank. There's a hot ass teller, just like, "What up, baby? Want to do a withdrawal?" I'm like, yeah, yeah.
No, I want a deposit. We making a baby tonight.
Oh damn!
We're in the wrong business.
Shit got real. Shit got
Podcast is not where we need to be. We need to be
That's a
in
beaver joke.
in
Oh,
porn
damn.
theory / plot writing.
real. Let's write porns.
I mean, I know we were talking about it earlier, but who do you play with in town again?
Well, that seems like a more logical question, but the thing I was gonna say was like
On the subject before.
the most expensive part of starting a porn channel is buying the leather couch.
It's gotta be black.
We gotta find it in black, yeah.
Rental Center ain't cheap, dude.
And they don't take it back after.
They hook you up,
They
but
expect full payment.
See, that's why you go to Aaron's
man,
and
fuck 'em.
rent that shit. And then
You're
you take
here
it back.
first.
You buy a couch in there. First dude in your porno has to be named Aaron.
Aaron's may be a deal, but I don't make a lot of money.
The porn's called Aaron's Plows. Aaron's Plow.
Aaron Karen. No, I'm just kidding.
Aaron
Suds
and
N
Karen.
Buds podcast sponsored by Aaron.
Free advertisement all day.
And Karen. Aaron and Karen.
Yeah, same.
Metallic.
Goldfish.
Metallic. Various fish.
The snack that smiles back, folks.
The snack that smirks.
If you come on our podcast,
you.
you get goldfish.
It smiles, but if
You gotta
put-
think of like every descriptive factor except using the real words.
make it different.
Metallic aquatic individuals.
Indigenous people. Nuts.
Okay, that's what I was like. What? Like every time we talk, it's going wow.
He's
Yeah.
gotta have his own sound.
We're
I
just
got the
rock
wah
and
pedal
roll,
on my
bro.
vocals right now.
Wow, wow, wow.
As he's eating. Wow.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, yeah, I know you play with a few people in town.
Yeah, I'm trying to start a band right now. It's just like, you know, all the bands in the valley, but everybody's already in bands, so it's like, we gotta find a
Finding new people is
drummer. We have the bassist. We're trying to figure out what to do because we have got another guitarist and a bassist. We just need to find a drummer, really. But
Do you sing too on it, or are you gonna
Yeah.
be just lead guitar and singer?
well, mainly like
Back
I'm doing the vocals on the songs we have written so far. But it's really just whatever we think sounds cool.
Nice.
Whether we have whoever play whatever.
Nice.
That's
So you have multiple
Going with the
singers, and
flow.
multiple.
Yeah, just
Switch
whatever
'em
we
up.
have an idea for. You know.
Nice.
oh, yeah, that's
That's a
always-
good thing to do though, because then you can have different sounds of music in one band.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it gives you that different
like
genre.
Linkin Park, like you were saying.
Oh yeah, like we were talking earlier, just gives you that different sound. Like you can't
Yeah.
keep going with the same sound.
Yeah.
Because you don't
If-
want
well,
to feel
you
like
can.
everybody's a hierarchy.
You can, but it's got to be so
Well, it's
good
also-
that people want
yeah.
it all
Yeah.
the
Well, and
time.
eventually it dies out. Like I said, like what I was
But
saying earlier,
AC/DC and like those bands,
AC/DC
like, you
and like
gotta
Linkin
be,
Park. Well,
like
like even
that
when
way.
you like replace band members, that can put a damper. Like he was saying earlier, if you try to replace a band member and they try to come in trying to sound like the other band member that they're replacing, it kind of
Yeah.
you're like okay, like that's
Because then you're
That's
almost
one
a
thing.
cover band.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's just more of a cover band. Yeah.
You're a cover band writing new
Well,
songs.
especially
'cause
when
you
it's
have
like
the same name as the
vocals,
original.
like
Yeah.
Blink-182 when they replaced Tom DeLonge. It's like you're not going to be able to replace that vocal.
See, and that's kind of like when I was saying, because I went to see Three
Oh,
Days
3 Days
Grace,
Grace,
but
yeah.
like he had the sound for the songs that he should have had. You know what I mean? He
I mean,
mimicked
it's-
the dude sound pretty well, but on their new shit, like Pain, they had new songs that he made
Oh yeah.
that were badass, and that's
What's-
kind of what AC/DC did. I mean, he had his songs, and they had, but he was
Well,
trying
yeah.
to sound like.
Well,
old
they gotta
AC/DC.
respect the old fans.
That's
as
what
well.
he
Yeah.
did too. That's what the guy from.
Like a lot of
the
people
guy
go
did.
there like with a favorite song that's like they only like a couple songs
But
for
the
the band,
original-
so they go to see them and then
The original people like them doesn't like that kind of shit. Like they don't want a guy trying to mimic another guy. Like
Right. Well, it's like, because I still think they made great songs after. It was just an obvious difference between their
Vocals.
progression with Bon Scott. Between their songs was way different than
hit and miss with
after
that sound. the
after
good
Brian
sound.
Johnson. Because after Brian Johnson, it was like consistent hits because they all kind of
Yeah,
followed the
they
same
took
sort
Brian Johnson took the sound of the good songs that they had made,
of. Yeah,
took that sound and went with it
yeah.
instead of the ones that were not as big. You
So
know?
it's still a great band and like they're great musicians, but it lacked that sort of
originality. He could
like they're
switched
trying to be AC/DC. They're trying
They're
to
trying to be
keep
old
being
AC/DC.
instead
One
of
part
being
of
a
AC/DC.
rock and roll
Well,
band.
taking it out
called
on their own,
AC/DC,
branching
you know what I
off.
mean?
See, yeah, but they were also doing it. It was like it wasn't because it was like you were saying it was hit and miss. It was kind of like
Yeah.
one big one not. It was
Yeah, I
because
think you
he
should
had
have
different genres of shit.
Yeah,
And this guy had one genre of shit.
because if you're really
And he was
trying to
copying
write
the
songs
wonders.
the way you think, the way you feel creatively free about, you're gonna have some that nobody's really gonna be interested in because it's your own subjective sort of feeling of like, I think this would sound.
Well,
cool,
that's like
you
also
know?
putting your own twist on
So-
shit. Like you see, like American
Yeah.
Idol, they'll like hear people and it's like, oh, you did that too much like the band. We wanted to hear some of you in it, and like
Right.
that's where it comes up as well. Because
Yeah.
it's like you. I mean, I could come out with a band right now and go for like like oh, Nirvana did well, so I can go for that Nirvana sound. But it's like. without having my own style and my own twist on it, or like even having like a signature on it, I guess is the best way to put it. It's not gonna be my style. So then it's just like, oh, that falls into like grunge, and it's like you're probably not gonna make it very big.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that can just slap shit together, but then there's also artists, and that's why it's called being an artist. Because like you put shit together like that, people are like, holy shit, why didn't no one think of that before? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's some stuff that does sound alike, and it's still, the ears still like it. Like, I hear a lot of stuff that sounds a lot like other stuff, and I still like it. But a lot of times I'll even say like, oh, this sounds like,
well,
you know what I mean?
The thing is, there's a big difference between they sound like this and they sound like they listen to this. You know
they
what I
make
mean?
that same music.
Well, yeah,
you
and it's
can hear
also
whether someone takes inspiration off something, and as opposed to whether they're ripping something off. You know?
Right.
Well, if you had to put something like, where would you put your, I guess, inspiration, or who inspired you to want to play guitar?
Mostly like a lot of old blues musicians, like Howlin' Wolf, Robert Johnson. What was his name? I think Robert Watson. It's different. Rob. Multiple Robs.
a lot of Robs.
Dude, you know what's crazy is for me it was local people, which is weird because I've been here forever. But guitar starter for me was Marty Luke and Bill.
Yeah,
well,
shout out
he's
Marty.
a great
Fucking
guitarist.
love that man, dude.
Well, the weird
He's
thing
the
with me
best
is like I
man
like
in
a
the
lot of
world.
like punk rock and like metal and stuff like that. But when I go to play guitar, I don't look to play punk or metal. I'm playing like not even classical, I guess, but like just clean acoustic, not really, just like I guess folksy kind of.
Yeah,
It's just kind of weird, but I like that sound when I'm playing. But I listen to different. Like I don't listen to folksy music to a point. Like there's a few songs I listen to, but.
because it's all about getting your thoughts out into a sound, you know.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, and I like the sound of a clean guitar as well. Like if I can find like a decent riff, on like a nice clean guitar. There's a lot of acoustic music I like, so it's like what I mean.
Yeah.
But also like I do like the crunch of an electric guitar and like fucking just the fucking fucking if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you don't know rock. But
Well,
just fucking crazy guitar solos and fucking just like what I mean. Like there's like the 13-minute fucking version of fucking Freebird. Fucking, you can sit there and just like a fucking 7-minute of guitar solo, and just like as a guitar player, this guy's fingers have to be burning, dude.
Right.
And like fucking, like his pick has to be dull as fuck. Like if he's using one, like you know what I mean? Like fuck, dude. Like
There's a recording of White Rabbit by
Jefferson's Airplanes.
Yeah. Where the guitarist does like a 7-minute intro solo, and it's so cool because not only is it a badass solo, but you can just sort of hear like I've been doing the 20-30 second intro to this song the whole tour.
It's my turn.
I'm just gonna fucking rip and dip for a few minutes. And
well, fuck the fans love it too.
She can wait, dude.
Like, and fans like that too, and they put like a twist on a song. Like, you go to a concert, and it's like, yeah, it's cool to hear like the song you're going to listen to, but like if they put their own twist, or like you go to see Godsmack and the lead singer
Though,
and the drummer have a drum off, like fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Like
that's every show with Godsmack.
But you know what I mean? Like the first time you went to go see it, though, that'd be dope, dude. Like you come back, you're fucking telling all your friends, like, oh yeah, dude, they pulled 2 drum sets up, like fucking.
For me,
like,
it was like they still do that shit.
Yeah.
I seen the video of that.
Yeah, I remember having seen that on a DVD, like
15
box set. Like fuck yeah, like I was like 13.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I'm saying. It's like, but seeing that shit still today, like he's still doing the same tour.
well, like we were saying earlier, like we were talking about how music can come and go and fade, and like how classic rock has stuck around.
It's because those classic songs, though, dude, and they still come out with new stuff, but nobody really listens to much of the new stuff unless it blows up. It's something that's better, which isn't. It's very, very rare that their new shit's better than their old shit.
Well, it's just crazy how long they've been
modern
touring.
music credit where it's due. I just think if you had to pick something that made the distinction was like modern music is very obviously based off of its marketability and
what's going on right now.
Which, like, in fairness, it's like fucking.
Well, and every new generation is influenced by what they were listening to, which is usually an older generation, because like you come into, listening to music, like, you're going to find music you didn't find before, but, like, not new music, but, like, music that came out. Like, oh, how did I not hear this?
People that grew up in the 70s listen to shit from the 50s.
Yeah.
Us, we listen to shit from 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Bam, that's our...
So that's influencing our music now, but, like, the next couple generations are going to be listening to, like, Little
90s,
Pump
2000s,
and, like, fucking
2010s.
New Skillet and, like, new fucking...
That's the same as it is now, though. It's like... plenty of people are getting inspiration off the people.
No, it's going back now. It seems like it's...
Well,
yeah.
People are going even further back to the
shift
60s and 70s. Like...
Well, there's also
like,
people
generation,
are like...
I guess, like, people who are born at 95 and above. We'll say that, because... I guess 95 is like 20 years old now. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I'm 89, so I don't know how that works.
It's older than that.
It's 24.
It's
so 95,
2019, dude, and you're
old.
talking 95, so like they're already
24
5 by
old.
2000, so...
So I'm saying 24 years old, like...
Oh, yeah, they're coming up. Like, I'm not that much
and
older than
people
that.
are still listening to shit from the 60s.
Well, yeah, you talk to anybody. Well, it's like, and
good
also
music.
classic
Today's
rock.
music is like, last week it was good, today it sucks.
And classic rock's like a lot of common ground for certain
stays.
people. Like, yeah, Guns N' Roses, like, you know what I mean? Like, Sweet Child of Mine. Like, there's even people who love rap. Even like classic rock.
You can't escape the damn factor.
Damn!
When you just see somebody,
shit.
when you see a performance or hear a song, and you're just kind of like, listen to it like, damn. You know?
Well,
it doesn't matter
the
when
rip
it
from
came
Sweet
from,
Child of
who did
Mine,
it.
dude. That shit, like, that shit's gonna play through centuries.
Yeah.
Multiple, there's so many songs like that.
And fucking just, just even certain riffs are gonna, like, fucking cream. Like, a few of their fucking riffs are gonna live forever. Like, people are gonna strive to, like, oh my god, that, like, they were pioneers for that sound. And, like, same with Nirvana, like, that grunge sound is, like, these fucking, a new genre. Like, to come up with a new genre, like, I'm not saying Nirvana 100% came with new
There's
grunge.
a lot of harmony.
I mean, they put a lot of
songs
fucking, like, they were, like, the headliners of it, don't get me wrong, but to come up with a new sound, even, is intense. And that's why I like, even dubstep, which I'm not a huge fan of, but is making huge headway, because it's, it's
more
not
EDM.
It's not even techno, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard. It's why it's called dubstep, I guess, but it definitely has its own sound, and people fucking love it. And they mix it with old music, and, like, I like a few dubstep songs, like, when it has lyrics over it. I'm not into, like, just the
dubstep.
Just the dubstep sound.
Yeah, I like having music.
Like, I like having when the dubstep builds up behind lyrics and stuff like that, then I enjoy it, but...
Like when Avicii or whatever, Avicii did that song.
Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. I'm probably wrong. But I think it debuted in like 68. Oh, yeah, I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
We can figure this out.
But basically, that song's 68 is 2019. That's like fucking.
Oh yeah.
50 almost
years.
51 years old.
Yeah.
But some 3-year-old in their car seat in the back seat that hears "Sunshine of Your Love" come on, and it's just.
Well, yeah, and there's also scientists.
They're probably gonna fucking nod their head.
Well, there's scientists that have looked up, like, there's vibrations that the human brain enjoys, and I'm sure you've heard of the 4 chords for every song.
You know what I mean? 68?
G, D, E minor, and C. For open chords, like, it has a shit ton of famous songs to play with those 4 chords.
You were so close, because that's when they ended, actually. 66 to 68.
But apparently...
They were only a band for 2 years, really. They were only
is that with Eric? Is Cream the one with that had Eric Clapton?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was crazy.
Yeah. No, the original band was for only 2 years.
Yeah, no, scientists put it out like that. Yeah, like, there's, like, 4 distinct sounds that the human brain, like, finds irresistible, and that's the 4 chords. That's why, like, you hear, like, all these bunch of huge songs.
I'm sure this guy could mash up a bunch of them.
Like. Huge songs come together, and they're all with the same 4 chords. Yeah, there it is. Like I said, G, E minor.
I like your eyes that are colored in any way. That is the girl that I'm talking about. Because there's like 16,000 other girls with the same colored eyes. And I don't know what to do for the next line, so I'll just go. It's fucking.
That's fucking
super.
That's
vague.
every pop song. You're welcome.
Radio shit. You can put that on the radio, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's $16,000 for every 16,000
like I said, but for some reason, like even though you were joking, that sounded well, and that was because the human mind enjoys those four tones.
It's the tone.
And then also, people enjoy poetry. It's also just another emotional release.
So it's more like the lyrics mixed with the fucking...
Well, no matter what lyrics you listen to, you're going to try and base it to your own life. Which makes shit relatable.
Right? When it's relatable, that's when you like it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll listen to a song for years and be like, oh man, I relate to that so much. And then
later on in life...
you hear someone try to tell you what the meaning means, and you're like, well, I did not take that from that at all. It's like reading a book, or like... If you had to ever do it in school, and they're like, "Oh, how did you interpret it?" and they go around the whole class, and everyone has a different interpretation to some point, or a different moral, or whatever.
Right.
And it's like the same
and
thing.
then there's the same thing as when, you listen to a song back in the day, and the meaning of it was so fucking hit to home, and then you listen to it nowadays, and you're like, "What? That doesn't."
Well, you listen to the Wall album, and you're like, "Oh, shit's wrong with our government and society as a whole, and we need to think about ourselves at an introspective level." And now it's like, yeah, that girl's ass is pretty fat.
Dope.
That was good.
Yeah, well, times are changing.
I can relate to that. I enjoy fat asses.
Who doesn't?
Preach it, brother.
Nobody wants a flat ass, according to...
There's some people, but it's a small minority.
That's a weird porno too.
That's a
weird porno too. Stick butt. Flat ass.
Space Goat from
it's
fucking whatever.
Flat ass, and it's gonna put "Did you mean?"
Big Sky Brewing Company.
Fat ass, because I know him.
That's funny shit. That's a fucked up porn, dude. I want to see that.
Porn name Caps.
But yeah, no, and then we were asking about it earlier, but you did that
Space Goat. That's a good.
You said you did that Tom Petty cover with never ever playing it before, and then just kind of winging it on leads. And Derek said it to me actually, and then if that was that just spur of the moment kind of deal?
Yeah.
No, that was dope, dude.
Thanks, Is that Mike that plays on the harmonica with you?
No, that's Cody Ickes.
Cody Ickes. That's the one. Okay.
Yeah, and you guys can probably find it. Just do you know where you shared that from?
I actually shared it from. Oh damn! I can't remember.
I think I posted it. You might have got it off.
Did you post it? Yeah, you reposted it and then I shared it.
Yeah.
You can find Seth because I'm not going to release his last name, but you can find it there.
It's not Blankenship.
There you go. Just look that up and you can probably find it. But
just don't look that up because that's not it.
It's they approached it differently, but they approached it well. I feel like I liked it.
Pretty good. That's for sure.
Like. It wasn't like I like how you guys didn't try to 100%
original
rip it off kind of deal like you were saying like you're just a cover band like you guys were like you made it your own. That's what, yeah, exactly.
Because I think like most covers sound
off. Like you hear it and you're like, this ain't the original.
Well, that's the thing is like you can do a cover where you sound exactly the same as the other band, but I think if everybody in the room has heard the original song, then, like, it's not that cool to be like, hey, guys, here's the same thing you fucking heard 100 times.
Yeah.
Well, it's more fun to...
I hear a new song.
Well, to be like, when they have that second where they're thinking, is this song? And then they're like, oh, shit, it is.
Yeah, like the wonder.
And then it's not like they're fucking it up. It's like I like the way they're doing this.
Yeah, when
it's like,
sounds like that song, but this song's better. Like,
well, not even better or worse. It's just like it sounds cool.
I like that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that, like, when you put your own ideas onto another idea, it's like, and it's also, like, not inspiration or, like, just, like, putting your own sound on something's also cool, because, like, you're admiring the person who wrote it and the people who play it, and sometimes they write it and play it, but...
like, Jimi Hendrix, Killin' Floor doesn't sound like Howlin' Wolves, but it's the same song, and it's just fucking Jimmy's style.
Well, and sometimes I've heard covers that are even better than the originals.
Right, yeah.
Like, in my opinion, at least, you know what I mean? Like, they've a bunch, so it's like...
And even then, it's like, with due respect sort of thing, because
because they made that shit.
If it
wouldn't even be there to make remake.
Well, it's like the meaning of the lyrics, like...
It wouldn't be there to remake.
And like the meaning of the lyrics I can relate to, so I can give that to the person who wrote it, and also, like, the sound I had to attribute to whoever's playing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Like, Sunhouse was a really good writer from the 20s because he made a lot of really cool blues songs, and then there's a few bands like White Stripes and
I love the White Stripes. I love
my mom
Jack
partied
White.
with the White Stripes.
Black Keys also.
I love the fucking Black Keys, dude.
I love Jack White, man.
Yeah,
he's bad.
Jack White's one of my main guitar influences, just because
he's
so
random and
weird.
fucking cool. Yeah, weird. I was just gonna say
he's on the
even his vocals are intense. Like,
I've always played
everything
on
he does is original as shit, and everybody loves it because it's so original.
Well, it's even hard to copy.
I've always played on vintage knockoff guitars because I like the sound of the sort of golden tier guitars of like Les Pauls and SGs and fucking.
Oh yeah, a good quality
Stress
guitar. You can definitely tell the sound difference, but
those old vintage Japanese, because that's the whole thing with guitars is like a lot of the Chinese ones. Like, don't get me wrong, I think there's a few good. I can't think of any offhand. There's a few good Chinese luthiers, I bet. But a lot of the like huge mass production guitars that were really shitty that people talk shit about were from China, but from Japan. They had some really fucking good luthiers over there.
Well, they're probably they have pride in craftsmanship or something.
Yeah, Kay and Tysco, they made really fucking cool, nice sounding guitars.
Well, it's also
there was something about American guitars that they just fucking looked cool and like. Well, they obviously sounded really good.
And there was also people
like
because you gotta remember there was people just making them for generations. This is where the first
electric guitar came from. You know, yeah.
Well, yeah, to put pickups into a fucking guitar and shit like that. A microphone was actually how an electric guitar started. It was literally just straight up fucking microphone and a guitar. And then people were like, holy shit, like, you can broadcast something to a lot more people. So, like, you know, people put their minds to it. And then, bam, you got pickups, you got double humbuckers and single pickups. And, oh, well, fuck, we can fuck with it here. And then amps come out. And then, oh, well, we can do this with amps and sound and soundboards. And it's just innovation and innovation on sound. And then you got studios where it's like, oh, we can make this shit sound so fucking rich. You don't have to... It's not 100% talent now, but it's also 100% like, you can do your thing,
part of what I miss
and we can clean it up for you at the
Nowadays, it's more about the computer guy. Like, who can make it...
Like, if you have a fucking super good tech, like, well, like the internet videos where they cut those auto-tune fucking voices from, like, news clips in the songs and shit, it's like, and it's catchy... It's like that's the sound of being a sound tech
fucking
now.
Rappers and shit that are proud to use autotune. They're like, "Oh, that's not me. That's autotune." They're proud to say that. Like,
well, like
I think you can use it as an instrument, but when you kind of rely on it, it's
Well, yeah.
Like,
well, like
rockers use it. You know what the first original autotune was? Autotune was the fucking original one with the tube and the guitar. Like,
no, that's a talk box.
Yeah, but that was like, that was before.
They get 100%.
That's different than autotune.
They can clean your sound up.
Something like autotune that would be
had
like
decent
early
soundboards for a while.
Is that for a good example for what you're talking about for like a sort of early
voice modifier.
Voice modifier would be like you know how in Sabbath recordings. Ozzy's voice kind of sounds like it's doubled.
And they have that weird little black mic underneath the mic. Right?
Well, and a lot of those old songs, they do double up the voices.
It's not that it's basically when they set up the audio when they're mastering the audio in the studio. And you get to decide what audio is coming out of which speaker and how much. They make it coming from two separate audio ranges so that instead of doubling it in a way that comes out as more output, it comes out in a way that sounds like two vocal parts singing exactly the same thing at the exact time. Is like when you say that implies
they just double it up.
When you say that implies that it's just going to be more output.
You can see a lot of that.
What it specifically does is make it actually sound like a doubled effect.
Yeah.
Well, they also did that in like
Nirvana
the early years in like 70s.
No, he did backtracks.
Yeah, they did backtracks.
He sang what he sings
twice
live,
and
then he does an octave down.
Yeah,
singing behind it,
but it's got to match up. That's the hard part.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched like in old bands did that too. Like you'll see that a lot where all these old like 80s and 70s bands they found a guitar player that they can harmonize with,
Yeah, that too. That does it.
And then, like a lot of the voices you're hearing is actually two people singing at the same time, but they harmonize so well that it sounds like this one rich voice
together,
that people try to copy, and it's like,
it's all different tones, but it's the same sort of idea.
Def Leppard did it. Yeah. Fucking like, there's just like some people like, oh, I can't even try to sing like that
because it was two people singing.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that it is two people they're singing at the same time. It's like, yeah, their guitar player just happen to be super vocally gifted as well. Or they like, it was also just a bond they built over time. I'm sure they've been in a band in a while because they did those old bands. But when you can harmonize with someone in your band, drummer, whoever the fuck's singing with you, it gives you that volume, plus it also gives you that unique sound because it's also two sounds mixing together and becoming this one awesome sound. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why you'll see, like, everyone's mesmerized by a chorus who sings something. Like, I watch it all the fucking time. I'll see, like, a chorus video, and it's hard to, like, scroll away. Because it's like, man, like, you have, like, 30 kids fucking harmonizing together, and it's super fucking good. And you got your fucking basses and your high notes and fucking, like, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's not, like, rock, but, like, it's music still. And it's like, when you hear, like, straight voices, and it sounds like, even, like, beatboxers and shit like that, who, like, beatbox and, like, they can rap and beatbox and shit like that. Shit's fucking impressive. Like, you can make music with just this. You don't need an instrument, like... You know what I mean? I like fucking all the good ones, like, that one song where it's like, let's go down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way when he will say. That song. It's on Oh Brother Without Thou, but, like, a few choruses cover it. Yeah, and, like, it's hard to look away. There's one where they do it, like, literally in a public place, and they're, like, on these balconies, and, like a chorus of, like, 200-300 people are singing it, and, like... super rich, like, so it's hard to hold or scroll away, like, gives you the goosebumps kind of deal, like, you hear, like, those high-pitched singers on, like, The X Factor, or, like, because some people can give you the goosies, dude, just with their voice.
Because there's a wow factor in, like, you don't, a lot of the things that people work really hard to be able to do musically end up being things that you as a musician from your own perspective are just like, you understand how to do it and what you need to do to be able to do it, so it's less mystified. But when you finally get to the point where you're showing somebody else, it's like got that wow factor, because like you were saying about how it gives you chills hearing a lot of those people's vocal range, was like because it's that feeling of like, you didn't realize a person could do that.
Well, yeah, like that, and do it so effectively.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
On the cue and under pressure.
Yeah, and it looks like it's just nothing to them.
Well, especially even though you have to know, and like you were talking earlier, like the younger they are and they get into it, they like master it.
Yeah.
And it's like you see like these 17-year-old kids and they go out and fucking belt a song out, and they're belting a song out and playing an instrument. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I have, like, a bunch of songs on my phone that I downloaded that are, like, straight just, like, American Idol fucking original songs from, like, young kids. Or even, like, slightly older people.
Think about it. It's like some 12-year-old that's been playing guitar since he was 7. He's got 5 years, right? Compared to somebody who's, like, 30
older
and played guitar since they were maybe 15. So they've got 15 years as opposed to 5. So... then you think about just on a practical basis is like 15 to 30, you got way less free time than you have 7 to 12.
Free time, and it's also classic. Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
And on that is like the biological aspect of it of until
teach them young.
Until neuromaturity, you have more neuroelasticity in your brain, meaning it's physically easier for you to learn things. So you take a 7-year-old, 7 to 12-year-old that has like nothing to fucking do really, and if they have a hobby that they're really passionate about,
that's also
90% of their time is gonna go to that.
Well, yeah,
but basically, if that kid plays every day,
or even every other day,
or really, he's gonna smoke the fucking guy that started playing later. 15 and is playing until he's 30, even though that guy has more time. Because that guy has shit. He's got a job to keep up, you know,
or a family, or and
just not putting everything.
Or neighbors who go to bed early, so he can play off his legs, or like having the option to like learn is also as well like mentally drained. So by the time he gets home and actually get to his guitar and start learning, it's like I don't even want to learn anymore. And it's kind of where I'm at. Like, I get stuck playing the same shit over and over because I go to learn new shit, and it's just like it doesn't stick with me as well because I'm not practicing it every day like I was with the shit when I was really into it.
Getting sick of that really helps though, because then it motivates you to.
Yeah. No, I've been like, I started looking up some new shit, and then just I had a kid, and then fucking the guitar kind of went off to the side.
Right. Yeah.
Right, that takes a while.
That takes a while. Like, working 10 hours a day with a kid. Your time kind of flies. The guitar kind of goes to the corner with some dust on it. And yeah, we should probably wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
So should you fellas. Oh, just kidding. But, no, dude. Space Goat, definite success. Bomb. There was that bottle cap we were looking for. Yeah, we got Seth. Like I said, he told you his name, Seth Blankenship. Check him out.
Local music, man. Keep it up.
He's going to go ahead and play us out. We appreciate everyone subscribing this week. We started Patreon. You can catch us at Suds N Buds. It's also named the same. Facebook, YouTube. YouTube, find us at MBDH Rough Housing. MBDH all in caps. Rough Housing doesn't matter as long as you put the spaces. And big thanks to Ben. He's been helping us out a lot with our video quality.
Check out.
He's going to go ahead and play us out.
Young Ben.
All right. Thanks for coming on to the show, and you guys have a good night.
Play that shit.